What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with 6 weeks out physique update from Brandon Curry. Now you can say that his squats from the front, they were never some of the biggest or some of the most impressive in the men's open class. But that hamstrings drop from the side, that is next level. And this is a very solid condition for Brandon Curry at 6 weeks out of this year's Mr. Olympia. So Brandon has this unique record of competing in more than 10 Mr. Olympias, and the man is still going very strong. He has had no injuries, his joints are still in a very good shape. He's able to push very impressive weights in the gym. And for all these young guys who are making their Olympia debuts, for all these guys who are up and coming, who are aiming to beat Brandon Curry this year, and all these guys who are hoping to take his spot come Olympia this year in that top 10, well, they are going to get a reality check in October. Because first of all, there hasn't been any drop in terms of his size and his muscularity. In fact, the physique that we saw from him at this year's Arnold, Ohio, that was one of his best in the past few years. And that was a lot better than what we saw from him at the Olympia last year. And the fact that he continued to build on that afterwards for this year's Mr. Olympia. I mean, we all saw how massive he was looking at the bell of the Olympia video, standing next to Derek and Samson Dauda. And the fact that this is the first time in so many years he has taken a proper off-season. So do not be surprised if we see an even better physique than what we saw from him at the Arnold this year. And do not forget, up until 2023, Brandon was placing as high as top 4. And it was just last year when he dropped down to 9th place. And one of the biggest factors, that was the change in his coach. He switched from his former coach Abdullah to another guy in the O2 gyms. And another change that we saw for this year's Arnold prep was that he stayed in the US and he did not went out to the O2 gyms in Kuwait to finish his prep. And same is the case for this year's Olympia too. So will be very interesting to see whether he's able to hold off all these young guys one more time. Because I'm very sure all these guys like Tonio Burton, Regan, even guys like Sazan Herati, Jordan Hutchinson, they are aiming for a top 5 finish this year. They are not considering Brandon Curry a threat. So let me know what you guys think. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So here you guys are looking at the modern day Brian Buchanan. So if there is one athlete who comes very close to having that small of a waistline, it's Yemi. There is no dispute that Yemi has the smallest waistline across all the pro divisions right now, not just in Classic. For those of you guys who do not know, he's gonna be making his Olympia debut in 6 weeks time. Now we cannot judge him based on the physique that allowed him to punch his Olympia ticket last year. He won a show in the post-Olympia tour. He competed just a week after the Olympia, and he got the earliest Olympia qualification possible. And he has been putting a lot of work to put on more muscularity, more size, because we all know only having great aesthetics and a small waistline, that isn't gonna be good enough to make you place high at the Olympia. So the guys who are placing in the top 10, they have a combination of mass along with aesthetics and amazing lines. Plus, they all bring superb conditioning in Classic physique. So I for one am very excited to see how this physique transpires on the stage and how he does against all these top Classic guys if he gets a chance to stand next to them. And Yemi is also going for this upcoming Germany Pro, which is happening in about 3 weeks time from now. So hopefully Yemi has some room to put on more muscle, more mass, and to get bigger before he hits his weight cap for Classic physique. Because you put 10 pounds on that physique, on that frame, and this is gonna be one deadly physique, one of the most Classic looking physique, if he's able to achieve that. So the main problem is Yemi's back shots. He needs hell of a lot of density and more thickness in that area before he's gonna get compared to the top 10 at the Olympia level. But let me know, what do you guys think about this physique and how high can he place at the Olympia this year? Next up, we have a 10 days out physique update from Logan Franklin. So Logan has never been this confident And if we look at the progress that he has been able to make, the man has earned the right to be this confident. So that's classic as per every definition. And if Logan looks this great, fasted in the morning, without any carbs in the system, just imagine how it's gonna look like after he goes through this peak week and he gets some carbs in and his body and his muscles come back to life. So that Arnold Ohio look that we saw from Logan, that could be considered the best bodybuilding peak of this entire year. There is nothing that him and Patrick could have done more and better for that Arnold Ohio prep. And that earned him a very well-deserved second place behind Mike Sommerfeld. So Logan is yet to qualify for this year's Mr. Olympia. But the way the man is looking right now, in all of his recent physique updates, that should be a walk in the park for him. And he can make a very solid statement that he has all the tools to be top 3 at the Olympia this year. Now he must dominate this upcoming competition, because that is going to give him all the momentum leading into this year's big show. So the one thing that is really going to go in Logan's favor, that is his ability to pose and present his physique in the best possible way and do those smoothest possible transitions. So Terence Ruffin and Logan are two of the best posers that we have right now in the entire IFBB Pro League. And just a few years back, it was actually Logan who beat Terence Ruffin in the posing round at the Arnold Ohio. He got the best poser award at that show. So this really goes to show us the level of skill set that he has in that regard. So the easiest way to tell whether Regan is spot on right now or not is how his chest appears, especially on the stage. Because that is one of those areas where he totally flattens out when he isn't peaked perfectly. And that is exactly what happened at the New York Pro. Because when he first came out on that stage, he was looking so big and so pumped. And his physique just totally crashed just 10 minutes into the prejudging. So this is the most recent physique update of him crushing chest. And the man does look pretty damn impressive here. And you can just see the fullness and the thickness in his chest right there. So hopefully this time him and his coach, Dom Super Sliced, they're working on bringing a much better package than what we saw even at Cali Pro, the show that he won. Because if he shows up, even like Cali Pro, which by the way was the best look out of the 3 shows that he did this year, he won't be placing top 9, let alone top 6. Which by the way is his goal for this upcoming Mr. Olympia. And he has repeatedly talked about that, and that too publicly. So a very good matchup for this upcoming Mr. Olympia. That is going to be between Rafael Brundle, Regan Grimes, and Jordan Hutchinson. Especially Regan and Rafael, because both these guys turned pro roughly at the same time. And as far as I can remember, they have never competed against each other before. And both have very similar physiques, very aesthetic, very statuesque. And both have similar problems. And that is not having enough muscle and enough mass on their frames to go up against the best of the best in the world. Now Rafael Brundle might have an edge in the front shots, but Regan on the other hand is far superior in the back shots. And when Regan was asked whether he will beat Rafael Brundle this year, he was 100% convinced that he will beat him. Next up we have an update from Patrick Johnson. So he came onto the scene and he actually came into the light after competing at the Arnold UK back in 2022. So Andrew Jack won that show and Patrick Johnson was placed runner-up at that show, beating guys like Martin Fitzwater and James Hollingshead. And this is the same guy who was the training partner of Brandon Carey when they were both training at the O2 gyms in Kuwait. So afterwards Patrick had to go through very unfortunate circumstances. After doing his Olympia debut back in 2022, he developed a bone cancer and the man was battling to get healthy in the last couple of years. So glad to see Patrick in a good shape and great spirits. So from the age perspective, it's gonna be very hard for Patrick to ever step back on the stage. But these guys just love to compete and Patrick was a warrior when it comes to dieting. So the option of Masters Olympia, that is always open for him. So he looked very impressive in his prime. He got very dry and very shredded. Plus the detail on the side of his legs, that was pretty damn impressive. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.